What if I told you that you're closer than you think? Closer to your breakthrough, closer to your dream, closer to the version of you you've been fighting to become. But right now, it doesn't feel like that, does it? Right now, it feels like you're stuck, tired, frustrated, and maybe even ready to give up. Listen to me carefully. Don't. Because what if the moment you quit is the moment right before everything was about to change? There's a strange thing about success. It hides behind struggle. Every person you've ever admired has stood exactly where you are, at the point where the pain felt heavier than the purpose, where the silence was louder than the applause, where they thought, maybe this just isn't for me. But here's the truth no one tells you. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they quit right before their moment arrives. And that moment, it doesn't come with a warning. It comes disguised as exhaustion, as doubt, as the voice in your head that whispers, "You've done enough. Just stop." That's the test. That's the barrier between who you are and who you're meant to be. We love to see success stories, the highlight reels, the celebrations, the victories. But what we don't see is how close they were to giving up. The nights of doubt, the rejections, the countless times they almost walked away. Most people don't realize how close they are because progress doesn't always look like progress. Sometimes growth feels like chaos. Sometimes getting stronger feels like falling apart. But every time you push through the pain, you're not starting over, you're leveling up. So when you feel stuck, when it feels like nothing's working, remind yourself it's not that you're far. It's that you're being tested right before the finish line. There's nothing more painful than wondering what could have been. Nothing hurts more than realizing you were this close to making it, but you quit too soon. The truth is, the pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. So when it feels heavy, when it feels pointless, when every part of you wants to stop and remember, you're not suffering because you're failing. You're suffering because you're growing. The struggle you feel right now isn't punishment, it's preparation. The universe doesn't give you obstacles to break you. It gives them to prove how badly you want it. Let me ask you something. What if today is the day everything changes but you won't see it if you quit? What if your next post, your next call, your next workout, your next act of courage is the one that finally opens the door? You can't see how close you are and that's why people give up. They expect fireworks, but growth is quiet. It happens in small wins, in visible steps, in silent battles. Sometimes the universe hides your progress because it wants to see if you'll keep moving without proof. Will you still believe when it's hard? Will you still push when it hurts? Will you still show up when no one's watching? Because that's when you're closest. Think about every person who made history. Athletes, artists, innovators. They all have one thing in common. The moment they wanted to quit was the moment they were closest to success. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school team. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for television. They all had reasons to stop, but they didn't. Because deep down they knew something powerful. You don't fail when you fall. You fail when you quit. There's a voice inside you that's tired, but there's another voice, quiet but unbreakable, that still believes. That voice has carried you through every storm. That voice has made you survive things that should have broken you. Listen to that voice. Every scar you carry is proof you're not done yet. Every setback you faced was building your strength for the next step. The path might be dark, but the light is closer than you think. Imagine this. You're climbing a mountain exhausted. You can't see the top because of the fog. You think it's miles away, but what you don't realize is that you're only a few steps from the peak. Most people stop there. They sit down. They say maybe another day, but if they had just taken 10 more steps, they would have seen the sunrise. That's you right now. You can't see it, but you're closer than you think. So keep climbing, keep pushing, keep believing, because the sun is about to rise. Every second you hold on, every small effort you make, counts more than you realize. The breakthrough you're praying for might not show up as a miracle. It might show up as a small opportunity, a new door, a kind word, a moment of clarity, but you'll never find it if you stop searching. Your journey isn't about how fast you move. It's about how long you refuse to quit. Because consistency beats intensity, faith beats fear, and persistence beats perfection. So here's my message to you. Don't quit, not now. Not when you've come this far. You've already survived your worst days. You've already proven you can endure more than you thought possible. So why stop now? One day you'll look back at this exact moment, the one where you almost gave up, and you'll smile because it was the moment that changed everything. You are closer than you think. Closer to healing. Closer to success. Closer to peace. Closer to the life you've always wanted. So take a deep breath, stand up, and keep going. Because your story isn't over yet. And the ending is going to be worth it.